This is a sweet potato. And when you cook it and cool it, it turns into a pretty magical thing. Resistant starch. Now, a resistant starch does a few things as far as we know. It lowers the glycemic response, it could feed good gut bacteria, and supports colon health. Resistant starch acts similar to soluble fiber, even though it's formed from a starch. All of that means that essentially you could lower blood sugar spikes, you can have better gut health, potential mild fat loss. And the reason for that is because a resistant starch will fill you up faster and keep you fuller longer. You also have a lower calorie digestion for the same amount of food because resistant starch isn't fully digested. And that could also lead to improved metabolic flexibility because of the better insulin response. Again, not a magic bullet. You're not gonna lose weight just by doing this, but it aids along with other practices. Now, it's also great for endurance athletes like me. Runners, if you're trying to get fit, want to be able to run or move or do aerobic activities longer. A resistant starch actually slows the release of carbohydrates, so you have longer periods of energy. And then even though it's cooked and cooled, a sweet potato is still high in potassium, beta-carotene, fiber, and good glucose and glycogen. Now, how much resistant starch do you actually gain? Nobody's 100% sure. There are some studies that show that you get 2 to 3 times more resistant starch by cooking than cooling your sweet potato. The method is just really simple. You can cook it however you like. Honestly, I just toss mine in a microwave. I wash my sweet potato, I wrap it up in a wet paper towel, toss it in the microwave. I'm gonna do 2 of them, so about 8 minutes. Once it's out of the microwave, I peel away the skin, mash the potato, and then store it in the refrigerator for about 12 hours. And then you end up with a cooled, mashed sweet potato that is a resistant starch. Now, you could use this just like you would any sweet potato. Today, I wanna make a resistant starch pasta. Now, pasta can also be a resistant starch. If you cook and cool the pasta, and then eat it again, you end up with more resistant starch. Fun little thing. But let's get moving. Let's make our pasta with our resistant starch. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just transfer my sweet potato over to a large bowl. And a lot of this is gonna be by feeling. This is a 2-ingredient pasta. You can make any pasta shape you want. We're gonna make kind of like a pepperdelli pasta. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna start with my sweet potato here and about 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. And then we'll just add a little bit of flour in at a time as we mix this. And we're just gonna get in and then knead it together until we have a nice soft dough, really. And this is just one of those recipes that's super easy, comes together, if you have the sweet potatoes prepped already, comes together quick. And you'll see this is gonna be 5 minutes, which is actually plenty of time for today's sponsor. Function Health is the proactive health membership designed to give you control over your health through regular diagnostic blood testing, personalized health insights, and telehealth support. I actually signed up for Function Health well over a year ago. I've gone through 2 rounds of lab testings, and I just signed up for my 3rd. I love getting to see hundreds of biomarkers from my heart, hormone, inflammation, and stress all tracked in one place, and getting insights on what those mean and how I can make changes to affect my health. I signed up through the Function platform, scheduled a quick blood test at a local lab. There are over 2,000 locations nationwide. And in a couple of weeks, my Function dashboard had all of the insights on how I could optimize my health. And as you get new tests, all the results are tracked over time. For me, over the first couple tests, my LDL was a little high. I think it's a genetic issue, but I started taking the supplements and we'll see what happens. I also have my lipase, which detects inflammation in your pancreas. That one I definitely want to try to lower. And one of the suggestions is curcumin. So I'm going to start taking that and just see what happens. I'm really excited. And I love that it's unbiased. No supplement or pharmaceutical upsells. Just your data and powerful insights. That's why leading health experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. They believe in it, and so do I. So gang, right now, the first 1,000 of you get a $160 credit towards your membership. Just go to functionhealth.com/SauceStache25 or scan the QR code on screen to sign up and start owning your health today. Again, that's functionhealth.com/SauceStache25. Test, don't guess. I cannot wait for my 3rd test to see all of the changes I've made, what's happened. It's gonna be so exciting. Okay, so this is really soft. It's actually still too soft, so I'm gonna add about a quarter cup to my cutting board here, and then we'll just start kneading this in. Any big pieces of potato that didn't mash, either make sure you mash it with your fingers or pull it out. Okay, this is still pretty soft, it's still pretty tacky. Let's go ahead and add another quarter cup. And all we're doing is just a little bit at a time until we have a smooth dough ball that's tacky but not sticking to your hand. And I think this should be about it. Okay, This feels pretty good. We got a nice smooth dough ball, bounces back. We've got some gluten built into it, which is great. Pretty excited about that. I'm gonna throw it back into its bowl, cover it up, and let it rest for a few minutes while we boil the water to make the pasta. Okay, water's almost at a boil. Let's make the pasta. I'm only gonna use half of this for now. Add a little bit more flour. Actually, you know what? Let's just start with a quarter. Now this is pretty much like a regular potato dough, so you can use this to make lots of other things. It could be great, simple pizza. There's no salt in this, there's no oil in this. So everything's gonna be simple. Everything's gonna be really simple. You can add oil and salt if you like. We're gonna salt our water, which is where the salt's gonna come from, and then the rest of the flavor comes from the actual recipe that we use this in. So I'm gonna roll this pretty thin. We're getting some transparency, which I like, and we'll be good to go. All we're going to do is fold this, and then we'll slice our pasta. Water's almost boiling, which is great. Cut the end off. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get this kind of thick noodle. So I'm gonna go finger width. These look pretty good. I'm going to quickly roll out that other quarter. We're gonna toss this into the boiling water for about 2 minutes. That is it. Now for that 2 minutes while it's boiling, I have another pan that I'm getting really hot. I'm gonna toss in some dairy-free butter, a little bit of garlic, and I'm gonna chop up some sage, and that's it. As soon as this comes out of the boiling water, I'm gonna toss the pasta right into the butter and sage mixture and then plate up. Fresh pasta, super simple, stupid simple. I mean, and this is good. Now, if you want, you can actually cook the pasta, throw it in the fridge for another resistant starch to get it even more resistant starch. But for something that you can prep ahead of time and then have something pretty good, 50-50 as far as resistant starch and being a healthy dish, I mean, this is pretty phenomenal. Let's see what Monica has to say. Okay.
It says looks like it's a pasta, either with like a reddish noodle or a reddish sauce.
So it's a reddish noodle.
Oh,
But
like
what would
almost
make it
like
red?
it could be like a butternut squash.
Ooh, sweet potato.
Or a sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Close.
Remember the sweet potatoes that you bought so we could have for dinner?
Yes.
This is them.
Yay, I'm glad they're getting used.
Yeah, they're getting used. I made the sweet potatoes yesterday morning after you made coffee, and I just threw them in the fridge. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And then I made the pasta and everything in like 10 minutes.
Ooh.
I know this is right up your alley, but go ahead.
I have no idea this was like a sweet potato. This actually tastes like a pasta.
Yeah.
And it's like a delicious, like fall flavored pasta.
Yeah.
Because it's got like the sweet, like it's sweet potato, but it could pass for butternut squash.
Yeah.
Or any kind of like roast.
Really wanted to get that in there.
Parsnip, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like in that family. But it's just got that really like, it like really fits the season.
Yeah.
And it's really good, so whatever season you're in.
Would you think this was a healthy pasta?
I mean, I would.
It's so good.
I mean, nothing feels like unhealthy, heavy,
No.
you know.
It's super good. So this is a resistant starch pasta, so it's gonna keep you fuller longer. Now, like I said, you can actually throw this pasta in the fridge and it will turn into a resistant starch. But so will regular pasta. If you just cooked pasta and threw it in the fridge and then reheated it, it'll be a resistant starch. Sweet potatoes have a lot more, but you're also getting the potassium. You're getting a lot of like vitamins and minerals that you typically wouldn't get from just a plain pasta. And this is homemade, which kind of like doubles it up as far as being the quality of everything. Personally, I think this is a go. I probably cooked it a little bit too long because I think it's a little soft. I don't know about you.
No, I think this is great. Yeah,
But-
I didn't even have that thought.
All in all, delicious. If you want something to impress the family while they're over for the holidays, that has that holiday flair, something that's super simple but makes you kind of look like a pro, this is it. And then you can tell them it's homemade pasta. And for a lot of people, it'll probably kind of blow people's minds.
And it's like pretty.
It's pretty too. It's very, very pretty.
So.
Pappardelle is always the way to make a pretty dish.
I was gonna say too, like it's got the green and the red like splash to it.
Yeah.
You know? And you could like, if you wanted to be creative, and there's other seasonings that would go with this that are different colors. You know, you could make it like a colorful. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Continue the color like sparkle.
Yeah, the color sparkle. We're gonna end right there.
Color palette.
The color palette.
I couldn't think of the word.
I'm like stuffing myself. This is too good. Well, that's it.